Aloha, my love, and welcome back to your personal reading of the Four Agreements, a Toltec wisdom book, a practical guide to your personal freedom, written by Don Miguel Ruiz. We had our last reading on the first agreement, which was impeccable with your word, be impeccable with your word. And today's chapter, chapter 3, we're going to be talking about the second agreement, which is don't take anything personally. So, grab yourself a cup of tea, grab yourself a glass of water. Maybe you'd like to have a journal on hand. Maybe you want to journal some things out as you're hearing some connections being made in what I'm reading. Or just allow yourself to feel comfortable. Maybe lay down and just absorb the information that's coming through. Because remember, this is not something we really want to be so logical about. This is something we really want to give ourselves permission to just feel. Because when we feel and we allow things to come through, then we are hearing our divine guidance, our intuition, which is our highest self, which is our limitless, infinite potentialness that we so have, but we've just forgotten. Now we're on this journey of remembering that we are multidimensional beings, infinitely potential, right now living a human existence, to walk this journey of evolutionary growth, of spiritual growth, to find that multidimensionalness that exists within us, where there really are infinite possibilities. All right, love. So don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you will no longer be the victim of needless suffering. So just take a moment to just breathe that in. Don't take anything personally. And allow yourself to just go to a moment where you took something personally. And don't judge yourself. Don't judge the situation or the person or what you did or didn't do, what you said or didn't say. Don't go there. Just observe that moment where you took something personally from something someone said or someone did or didn't do. I want you to just remember that moment where you took that personally. And I want you to feel in your physical body where that discomfort is, that you took something personally from somebody else. Is it in your throat? Is it in your head? Is it in your belly? Just stay with that one space in your body where you first felt discomfort, knowing that you took something personally from somebody else. You took it personally. Identify that one space in your body, that discomfort. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And opening the mouth, exhaling. Remember that space in your body where you felt that discomfort, and allow yourself to come back here to the present moment, opening your eyes if your eyes are closed, slowly. Or if you want to remain with your eyes closed, keep them closed. And just taking in what you hear in story time today. Don't take anything personally. The next 3 agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, hey, you are so stupid, without knowing you, it's not about you, it's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? Is he clairvoyant, or can everybody see how stupid I am? You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you, and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. During the period of our education or our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is just because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own reality, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one that we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption, we assume, make an ass out of you and me. We assume that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during their domestication. If someone gives you an opinion and says, "Hey, you look so fat," don't take it personally, because the truth is that this person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send poison to you, and if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for these predators, the black magicians. They can hook you easily with one little opinion and feed you whatever poison they want. And because you take it personally, you eat it up. Another analogy we say here is that we're giving our power away. So the one that we feel angry with or upset by or upset about, or if we're taking something personally of what they're saying, we're giving them our power. You eat all their emotional garbage, and now it becomes your garbage. But if you do not take it personally, you are immune in the middle of hell. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of the agreement. Don't take anything personally. Place yourself today, September 20th, 2020. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. Comment down below if you can connect the dots of what's happening today with Corona and the pandemic. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. Don't take anything personally. Comment down below if you're connecting the dots with me right now. I want to get you on my podcast because we need to unwrap this for those that are ready to hear the depth of that conversation. Comment down below. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. Don't take anything personally. When you take things personally, then you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. Come on, you know you've done that. We all have. It's okay. We're human. You also try hard to be right by giving them your own opinions. In the same way, whatever you feel you and do is just a projection of your own personal dream, a reflection of your own agreements. What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made. And these opinions have nothing to do with me. I always say that we are just projecting out what our heart is experiencing, what our heart is feeling. So if our heart's feeling in conflict and dark, it's going to project that out, right? So don't take anything personally. That's just where the person is. It is not important to me what you think about me. And I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, Miguel, you are the best. And I also don't take it personally when they say, Miguel, you are the worst. I know that when you are happy, you will tell me, Miguel, you are such an angel. But when you are mad at me, you will say, oh, Miguel, you are such a devil. You're so disgusting. How can you say those things? Either way, it doesn't affect me because I know what I am. I don't have the need to be accepted. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, Miguel, you are doing so good, or how dare you do that? No, I don't take it personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem, not my problem. It is the way you see the world. It is nothing personal because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So nothing they think about me is really about me, but it is about them. You may even tell me, Miguel, what are you saying? What you're saying is hurting me. But it is not what I'm saying that is hurting you. It is that you have wounds that I have touched by what I have said. You are hurting yourself. There's no way that I can take this personally. Not because I don't believe in you or don't trust you, but because I know that you see the world with different eyes, with your eyes. You create an entire picture or movie in your mind, and in that picture, you are the director, you are the producer, and you are the main actor. Everyone else is a secondary actor. It is your movie. The way you see the movie is according to the agreements you have made with life. Your point of view is something personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. Then, if you get mad at me, I know you are dealing with yourself. I am the excuse for you to get mad, and you get mad because you're afraid, because you are dealing with fear. If you are not afraid, there is no way you will get mad at me. If you are not afraid, there is no way that you will hate me. If you are not afraid, there is no way you will be jealous or sad. If you live without fear, if you love, if there is no place for any of those emotions, if you live without fear, if you love, there is no place for any of those emotions. I got all excited. If you don't feel any of those emotions, it is logical that you will feel good. I'll repeat that again. If you don't feel any of those emotions, it is logical that you will feel good. When you feel good, everything around you is good. When everything around you is great, everything makes you happy. You are loving everything that is around you because you are loving yourself, because you like the way you are, because you are content with you, because you are happy with your life. You are happy with the movie that you are producing, happy with your agreements in your life. You are at peace and you are happy. You live in that state of bliss where everything is so wonderful and everything is so beautiful. In that state of bliss, you are making love all the time with everything that you perceive. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they are not saying that because of you. You know you're wonderful. It is not necessary to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. Even if someone got a gun, shot you in the head, it was nothing personal, even at that extreme. Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. The mind has the ability to talk to itself. The mind is always going. But it also has the ability to hear information that is available from other realms. Sometimes you hear a voice in your mind and you may wonder where it came from. This voice may have come from another reality in which there are living beings very similar to the human mind. The Toltecs call these beings allies. In Europe, Africa, and India, they call them gods. Our mind also exists in the level of the gods. Our mind also lives in that reality and can perceive that reality. The mind sees with the eyes and perceives this waking reality. But the mind also sees and perceives without the eyes, although the reason is hardly aware of this perception. The mind lives in more than one dimension. There may be times when you have ideas that don't originate in your mind, but you are perceiving them with your mind. You have the right to believe or not believe these voices and the right not to take what they say personally. We have a choice whether or not to believe the voices we hear within our minds, just as we have a choice of what to believe and agree within the dream of the planet. The mind can also talk and listen to itself. It's divided as your body is divided. Just as you can say, I have one hand and I can shake my other hand and feel the other hand, the mind can talk to itself. Part of the mind is speaking and the other part is listening. It is a big problem when 1,000 parts of your mind are all speaking at the same time. That is called a mitote, remember? The mitote can be compared to a huge marketplace where thousands of people are talking and bartering all at the same time. Each one has different thoughts and feelings. Each one has a different point of view. The programming in the mind, all of those agreements we have made, are not necessarily compatible with each other. Every agreement is like a separate living being. It has its own personality and its own voice. There are conflicting agreements that go against other agreements and on until it becomes a big war in the mind. The mitote is the reason humans hardly know what they want, how they want it, or when they want it. They don't agree with themselves because there are parts of the mind that want one thing and other parts that want exactly the opposite. That's the inner conflict we are all going through right now. Every day there's a moment you're going to have where you feel conflict inside. Pay attention, be present to these words so you can start dissolving those conflicts that are no longer serving you. I mean, really, do you want to keep those conflicts around? Do you really want to keep this constant bartering and bickering and pointing fingers and not taking self-responsibility? Do you want to keep that cycle going? Because if you do, I would press pause right now and move on to something else that you want to distract yourself with. If you want to say enough of doing this and turning the finger around and finding your own self-responsibility and being impeccable with your word and not taking anything personally, and take a deep breath with me through the nose. 1, 2, 3, inhale. And a slow exhale. Close your eyes and just feel these words. Some part of the mind has objections to certain thoughts and actions, and another part supports the actions of the opposing thoughts. All these little living beings create inner conflict because they are alive and they each have a voice. Only by making an inventory of our agreements will we uncover all of the conflicts in the mind and eventually make order out of the chaos of the mitote. Don't take anything personally, my love, because by taking things personally, you have set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Humans are addicted to suffering at different levels, to different degrees, and we support each other in maintaining these addictions. Humans agree to help each other suffer. If you have the need to be abused, you'll find it easy to be abused by others. Likewise, if you are with people who need to suffer, something in you makes you abuse them. It is as if they have a note on their back that says, please kick me. They're asking for justification for their suffering. Their addiction to suffering is nothing but an agreement that is reinforced every day. Wherever you go, you will find people lying to you. As your awareness grows, you will notice that you also lie to yourself. Do not expect people to tell you the truth because they also lie to themselves. You have to trust yourself and choose to believe or not to believe what someone says to you. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they're afraid. They're afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It's painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing but you do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth about it may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain. Healing is on its way. And it's just a matter of time before things will be better for you. You'll see. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. If that person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Then you can choose what you really want. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself to make the right choices. When we love ourselves, when our cup is full, when our oxygen mask is on, it is so incredibly easy to love and trust and give without expectation, without conditions, because we're full within ourselves. So when we're full, we can drinketh the cup over, right? If we don't, if we're empty, we can still do it sometimes, a lot of the times, us empaths. But we're doing it to our exhaustion. I can't even say it right. It's exhausting even saying exhaustion. Wow, it really is exhausting saying that word. If you're empty, you're giving to your exhaustion, to your depletion. And then what happens there? You get resentment, right? Because you gave and that person didn't give back the way you expected them to, or the way you naturally would desire it to, because it's a give and take situation. But remember, we are addicted to pain. So if we feel we don't deserve love, we're not going to get love. If we feel we don't deserve to be seen, we're not going to be seen. So when you love yourself, it's easy to just trust that one in front of you. When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear. And even your sadness will simply disappear if you don't take things personally. If you can make the second agreement a habit, you will find that nothing can put you back into hell. There is a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. You become immune to black magicians, and no spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you're immune, and you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. Fascinating, right? So if someone is intentionally sending you poison, or unintentionally, it doesn't matter, intentionally, not intentionally, doesn't matter, but if it's coming and you don't eat it, it's like a boomerang. It goes back to the sender. Return to sender. To return to sender, this is an interesting, whenever you're feeling like doesn't feel good, return to sender, just give it back. Here, take back your shit. Here you go. I'm not going to take this personally. Take back your shit. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. Ho'oponopono them. I'm feeling like you're throwing something at me, and I'm not going to take it personally. Take back your shit. You're not being very kind right now. take back your shit. And I'm going to ho'oponopono you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm going to clear the energies that just exchanged between you and I. Because I'm conscious to what's going on. And I want to clear the lower level vibrations that are here that are not serving us anymore. So I'm going to ho'oponopono you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. To clear the energies that are in existence between you and I that are not clear, that are lower level, that don't belong. The ho'oponopono, Hawaiian prayer to clear any energies that are no longer serving. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. A little exercise for you guys. 8.5 by 11 paper. Bring your markers out, your glitter, and in big letters, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. Any order that feels yummy to you. You go for it. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you put those 10 pieces of paper all over your house, in your car, wherever you frequent. And every time you walk past that piece of paper, you say out loud, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. And you keep it moving. And you keep doing the practice. And before you know it, you've memorized the practice. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. And anytime you encounter a situation that's uncomfortable, don't go into the logical mind of what is happening, what are they doing, what am I doing, what's going on. Just instantaneously ho'oponopono the situation, ho'oponopono the space, ho'oponopono yourself, ho'oponopono them, just ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. And poof, things shift. I'll give you an example. The mask. Dun, dun, dun. I'm walking to the market. We're in a second lockdown here in Hawaii. We must wear a mask outside in the street. I refuse to wear my mask because I believe there's a pandemic going on, and I believe the mask is what is allowing us to understand what truth we're going to stand in. We're going to keep being controlled by the fear of this virus that can kill us and can kill my loved one, or we're going to be in our own sovereign truth and recognize that our liberty is taken away from us, our freedoms are being taken away from us to keep us in fear. So that's why I was guided to read this book to you guys. So you can live by these 4 agreements to not live in fear, to realize the dream that is all in front of you, to realize this pandemic that's taking place, that's in place to keep us afraid and less than and dumbed down. So I'm walking to the market. I don't have my mask on. And because I'm very much trying my best, because remember, I'm human, my stuff still comes up, trying my best to really be in the present moment, right, and honor the present moment. My higher self, source for me, my creator, I felt my higher self said, do the ho'oponopono. And because I'm very trusting of it, I just hear it and I follow. Okay, so I'm ho'oponoponoing as I'm walking down the street. Maybe I walk 2 blocks and I'm ho'oponoponoing. And I encounter a woman. I'm a pretty tall person. And I encounter a woman about half my size, furious, screaming so loud that you could see her mask is like, like chin, 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 chin from all the fire that she is spitting. She's so mad. And her whole body's tensed up and she's angry and she's getting red. And because I'm ho'oponoponoing and I'm grounded and I'm taking care of myself and I'm eating good food and I'm loving myself and I'm doing my yoga and I'm watching when I need to just sleep and I'm watching when I need to just pull away from a situation. I'm taking care of my body and taking care of my emotions. When those situations like those come up, I'm not so quick to react anymore the way I used to be back in the day. So I'm standing in front of this woman who's just spewing out pretty vile comments to me about not wearing a mask. And I'm ho'oponopono. I continue to ho'oponopono. And I do something that I call Care Bear compassion. I don't know if you guys remember Care Bears. back in the day, where they all lined up on a hill, and they all had like one of them had like a rainbow, the other one had like a flower, the other one had a heart, the other one had a bird. I don't know, different emotions that they carried. Maybe not a bird, but a rain cloud. One was a rain cloud, right? And they all stand up, and then they, from their hearts, they this golden white light comes from their hearts, from which is where it's their heart or their rainbow or their butterfly, whatever their symbol is, their emotion is, and they shoot it out. I call it Care Bear Compassion. So I'm doing Care Bear Compassion, right? And I'm sending her love from my heart. And I'm picturing my feet grounded into the earth, roots going into the earth, because there were moments where I was getting a little jolted. There were moments where I was kind of like getting like smacked in the face. I felt like I was getting smacked in the face. She wasn't smacking me in the face, but with these certain words that were triggering me, that were bringing up my old shit, right? So I felt roots going out of my feet, going into the earth so I can be grounded. Care, Bear, Compassion, and I'm just ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. I'm just repeating it in my mind as she's fuming. And 1 minute to the next, the woman literally just stopped. Her eyes bugged out. And her whole body just like not dismantled. It's kind of like, I don't know, is it, what's that? Iron Man, when he kind of, or the Transformers, that's literally what I saw. I saw her go, and she came to this realization. And she wouldn't become small, she de-armored herself. She brought down the armor, because she had the armor up when she was yelling at me, right? The woman could have punched me, she would. And it's like something clicked, something snapped. A realization came through, and she just looked at me and just literally walked away without even saying a word. So I believe, because I did not take it personally in that moment, and because I was grounded in that moment, and I was present and aware in that moment, and I was realizing it was not personal, and I'm sending her love, and I'm clearing the air with the ho'oponopono, clearing any energies that don't belong. I fully believe in my bones and my body. I shifted the energy of that moment. I consciously and deliberately shifted the energy in that moment. And I created the best case scenario for the both of us. The best case scenario for the both of us is coming to whatever realizations each of us needs to come to, so we can keep leveling up in our process of evolution. So, gorgeous example of not taking anything personal. Oh, I love how this works. You can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing personally helps you to break many habits and routines that trap you in the dream of hell and cause needless suffering. Just by practicing the second agreement, you begin to break down dozens of teeny tiny agreements that cause you to suffer. And if you practice the first two agreements, you will break 75% of the teeny tiny agreements that keep you trapped in hell. And if you add the ho'oponopono to following these 4 agreements, you're golden. You're golden. Write this agreement on paper and put it on your refrigerator to remind you all the time, don't take anything personally. As you make a habit of not taking anything personally, you won't need to place your trust in what others do or say. You will only need to trust yourself to make responsible choices. You are never responsible for the actions of others. You are only responsible for yours. So stop doing this, and when you see yourself doing this, turn around and do this. Where am I responsible for this situation? Where can I clear the energies that no longer serve? I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. When you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. I'm experiencing that right now, literally. Certain close people in my life, they're going through their own awakening process, and I'm triggering them. And they're finding every way, shape, or form to blame me for triggering them. And because I'm not taking it personal, because I'm doing my self-work, I'm doing my daily ritual, my journaling, drinking my tea and sitting with my thoughts, my meditation, right? Doing my self-care, my bubble baths, my going for my runs, my swims, my yoga, my just sitting still. Every hour or so, so just take a breath for 30 seconds, take deep inhales and exhales for 30 seconds. Self-care. Because I'm doing that, I'm not taking things personally, then I'm seeing things for what they are. Again, not perfect. I have my moments, and we're always going to have our moments. I want to make that very clear. This is a process. Not like 1 minute you take a pill and everything's gone. It's a process, so be kind to yourself. Baby steps, baby steps. Stay here on this channel. Allow yourself to be present to what's coming to you. Because this information is really coming for all of you that are here present right now. Because that's the mission that I'm on. I'm here to speak truth to those that are ready to hear this deep truth. This deep truth that we are infinite potential beings. That we've been conditioned to think we weren't. We've been conditioned to think we're limited. When you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. It's a very liberating feeling, guys. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, I love you, without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes or you can say no, whatever you choose, without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. Then you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss, and hell will not affect you at all. Don't take anything personally. You know, it said you can say I love you freely without fear of being judged. It reminds me of my clients when I work with my clients at the end of all of our sessions. I say I love you. And it's so interesting how in the beginning 99.99% of them are like shocked. Like their whole body tenses up and they want to say it. Either they reject it. What? You love me? You can't love me, right? Or they want to say it, but they get stuck. It gets stuck in their throat. Right? So guaranteed the first time that I say I love you, because it's a wound that we all have. It's a collective wound. We have such a hard time receiving love, giving love. It's hard. It's hard for us because we've never really been taught unconditional love. Right? So me saying I love you to my client is an unconditional love. That whichever way you walk this journey, I'm right here guiding you, whichever way you want to walk it. And that's a practice. Giving others permission to walk their journey as they need to walk their journey. And to have compassion for the next. Because I'm sure you were once there too. So don't take anything personally. Trust your dopeness. And every day, look in the mirror and say, I love you. 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 Love you. I know it may sound weird and all that fun stuff. Try it. It feels really yummy. If every day we take a moment to tell ourselves how much we love ourselves and how proud we are of ourselves and how much we've grown and how far we've come. Every day. I love you. Aloha. Deep Dive Live. I'll let you know. I'll let you know down below. After I post this video, the date and the time will come up. So take a look at the comments down below. Love you very much. I'll see you at the Deep Dive Live. Don't take anything personally, my love. Everything that happens in this life is happening exactly for you and your growth. Aloha. I love you.